for you. This is breaking news from RTV6.
And we start with some breaking news. An elderly woman has died at her home after it caught on fire on Indianapolis's north side. This all happening around 2:30 this morning near 38th and Capitol Avenue. A firefighter was also injured there while trying to rescue the woman from the house. There's no word yet on what started this fire, but we know this is the 4th fire death in the metro area so far this year. And right now, a man is in critical condition after being hit by a car on Indy's east side. Just take a look at the damage to that vehicle. This all happened around 3:30 this morning near Michigan and Dearborn. Elena Martella telling us this just cleared moments ago. Police said that the man was struck. He has a broken leg, but we don't know much more at this time. IMPD says that the driver there was not impaired and that no action will be taken against that person. But here at 5 o'clock, it is a Storm Team 6 alert day. Kyle Mounts tracking those rain showers moving through. You could hear them in the video there. Kyle, what can we expect as we're heading out?
Yeah, once again, Lauren, we've got a lot of rain across central Indiana this morning, but it is generally light to moderate, and it's all rain here. As you notice, temperatures even for Peru this morning, you're above that freezing mark by a few degrees at 35. It's 38 in Indy and 40 degrees in Bloomington. Let's show you here on Storm Team 6 radar where we've got that steady rain. Indianapolis, Greenfield, so along I-70, also 74 and 65 south and east of the city. Going to be a pretty wet go of it, but as you travel northwest, things are drying out. Still some rain for you around the Bloomington area and then Marion into Hartford City. And Portland, it's all green. That means it's all rain for you, and therefore the winter weather advisory that we had in effect overnight has been canceled for the entire RTV6 area. Not to say a few snowflakes couldn't mix in far northern areas, but that rain will get out of here this morning after a few showers lingering into the mid-morning. Cloudy skies sticking around. Temperatures will warm their way through the 40s, and then rain is back with us later this evening.
All right, Kyle, thank you. We know more than a dozen drivers had to actually pull off the side of I-70 overnight because of potholes. This all happened in the downtown area, eastbound lanes of I-70 at the North Split. Now, officers, tow truck drivers, we know INDOT also called out this morning to get this area fixed before the rush hour. Now, the Department of Public Works is out planning a pothole blitz starting next week, but our Nicole Griffin is live with us this morning. Nicole, these potholes causing a lot of damage to vehicles.
Yeah, Lauren, good morning. Well, we are here inside the Firestone garage here in Fisher. As you can see, I have my safety glasses on just to be safe this morning. But the 3 cars you see right here behind me this morning, they are all 3 here because of damage due to the potholes we are seeing on our roads. Joining us live this morning, Steve Bredeman. Steve, you work with these people every day that are coming in. What's the biggest thing you're seeing as far as pothole damage?
Well, obviously, it's pothole season, and we're seeing subsequent damage to tires and wheels that definitely need to be addressed. Right here, you can see a wheel that didn't make it. You can see it's got kind of damage in multiple places. And unfortunately for this customer, what we ended up having to do is replace the wheel.
And you were even saying on the few cars we just showed a minute ago, there's a common theme you're seeing with that front right tire.
Absolutely. That seems to be where the drivers hit with their vehicles, is that right front, because it's kind of like a little out of sight. So when they hit the potholes, it's a little unexpected, and the next thing you know, they've either blown out a tire or wheel. They have to put the spare on and then limp it to their garage.
And not much you can do to avoid the damage, but you had a good piece of advice for us.
Yeah, exactly. What you want to do is, and it goes without saying, is to leave plenty of distance between yourself and the driver in front of you. That way you can kind of see if they've hit a pothole, right. And that way you can take evasive actions and try and eliminate hitting that.
Steve, thanks for joining us. We're going to be live with him all morning long coming up here on Good Morning Indiana. But for now, let's go ahead and send it back to you guys in the studio.
Great advice. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you, Steve. Well, as you're taking to the roads this morning, you do want to make sure you pay attention because with that rainfall, those potholes are full of water. You might not be able to see them. So again, just use that extra caution when you are making your way to work this morning. The good news, everything is moving up to speed in the area. So if you're coming from the northwest side, heading southbound on I-65 from I-865 down to I-70, it should only take you about 18 minutes. So no delays in your commute if you are heading out the door right now. But let's take a look at those wet roads. Here's a look at I-465 at Michigan Road. This is up on the north side. You can see not too many people are making their way right now, but if you are headed to work this morning, you might just want to leave a little bit earlier than you typically would.
Elena, thank you. It is 5:04. Now, we've shown you memorials for the school shooting in Florida, but none quite this big. The Empire State Building's lights were turned off to honor the Parkland victims, except for an an orange halo-like effect, shining a light on gun violence awareness. Now, late last night, survivors of the shooting debated senators on gun violence during the CNN town hall. Senator Marco Rubio was in the hot seat a lot. A dad who lost his young daughter last week confronted him, and a student asked if he'd stop taking donations from the NRA.
Not here to tell you that I will stand for the things. Are you going to be accepting money from the NRA in the future? I've always supported, I will always accept the help of anyone who agrees with my agenda.
Well, students and parents also confronted the NRA spokeswoman. She says that the NRA feels that the system of buying guns is flawed and that the people who shouldn't have guns are slipping through the cracks. Now, today, President Trump is scheduled to talk about gun school safety with state and local leaders. He told students and parents yesterday that his team was getting right to work on a solution. He talked to them about possibly arming teachers, and he said he'd like stronger background checks. The president also told the group that he's open to raising the minimum age to buy a rifle from 20 to 21 instead of just 18. The NRA says that it's against that idea. Well, following this school shooting, we've had more than a half dozen threats across our state, including a Rush County school. In this letter to families, the superintendent says that the district plans to have extra security at all of the schools today. A student was arrested for allegedly making verbal threats against Rushville Consolidated High School. Well, there's no question that school is a place where kids need to feel safe, but because of that tragedy at the high school, your kids have probably had a lot of questions for you. So our Aaron Lish went straight to a mental health counselor to see the best way to talk to your child about school shootings. Aaron, what can you tell us?
Well, you know, you think about it, kids have a lot of questions. One might be, could this ever happen to them at their school? Licensed clinical social workers tell me it's hard to hide these images from kids. It's on TV, it's on social media. They're talking to each other about it. And they end up saying there are ways that you can help your children. David Seiler says it's normal to be concerned. This is a scary situation that we had last week. But they say pay extra attention to your child's behavior. If they're acting a little strange, maybe ask them what's wrong, what's going on. And, you know, they can end up taking action, maybe writing to their senators or even just saying a prayer to somebody, whatever they feel most comfortable with to deal with these types of tragedies. And Seiler also says answer kids' questions, but appropriately based on their age and if they ask.
Sometimes we as parents tend to overshare and maybe introduce new things that might be frightening to them too, that without even realizing it. So really just let the kid lead you. Let your child just ask the questions.
Now, Seiler says, you know, you see these children running and crying and screaming, and it not only affects the kids, but yourself. So make sure that you are okay yourself. Make sure that you're the role model for your children in these types of tragic situations. Coming up, I'll have a little bit more of what parents can do when it concerns their child's social media and what kids can do immediately to help with the positivity. For now, I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Aaron, thank you. It is 5:08. Now, there's going to be a lot of cleanup this week after flooding up in northern Indiana. First responders had to go door to door yesterday because of those high floodwaters in Elkhart County. It's a similar situation in South Bend, too. Both of those areas are under states of emergency this morning. Well, a Monrovia woman's roof was destroyed during a thunderstorm, but the repair crew that came out to help her may have done more harm than good. Ethel Spurlock has lived in this Monrovia house for 80 years now. She was sleeping when a storm hit and a tree crashed through her roof. Volunteers from a local church came out to fix it for free. Ethel says that they left her roof in bad shape, enough that water was still getting in. Call 6 Investigates went to work, contacting the Better Business Bureau, who put us in touch with Nichols Brothers Roofing and Exteriors. Now, they fixed her roof for free.
We're a smaller company and we can't do a lot, so we saw the opportunity to help, and so we jumped on it.
I was so glad to see that somebody had done it right. And no, I'm very pleased with it, and they were so nice.
Well, Call 6 Investigates did some checking with the Planning Commission and told us that you don't need a permit to do a roof repair in Monrovia. Ethel wants to share her story so that other people are careful about who you let up on your roof. It's 5:09 this morning. We're awaiting charges after a Pike Township school employee admitted to sexually assaulting a student. Now, we're told the employee worked at the new Augusta Public Academy North campus. We don't know if that person was a teacher or on someone else on the school staff. Child Services investigators say this all happened in 2016. Well, here's a true sign that May is inching closer. This morning, we'll finally get to see this year's ticket for the Indy 500. Reigning champ Takuma Sato will join Governor Holcomb and IMS officials to reveal the look of the 102nd ticket. This will take place at 10 o'clock at the Rotunda at the State House. Now I want to toss things over to Kyle. Thinking about May and sunshine, not the case today.
Not today, but before too long, we're going to need those sunglasses again. However, keep the umbrella handy today, right through tomorrow, and even into Saturday. So it's a bit of a soggy start right through the weekend here, but Sunday into early next week, that's when we can break out those shades once again, enjoy some sunshine, and start to dry things out a little bit. But with that rain on the way, especially along and south of Interstate 70 through Saturday, another 1 to 3 inches of rain, certainly going to cause additional flooding issues. Those rivers already starting to rise, so we'll be watching that closely for you here over the next couple of days. But if you're heading out this evening, that's one of the times that we do get a break from the rainfall. Heading out to some of the boys' basketball action this evening. 7 o'clock dry for you. Temperatures 45. We'll still have mostly cloudy skies around, but those numbers going to hold pretty steady even through 11 o'clock. 46 degrees, but overnight tonight and into tomorrow morning, rain returns. We'll talk more about that in a few minutes.
All right, Kyle, thank you. Well, doctors, they said to stop using it. Now the CDC is bringing back the flu mist. Why they say it's okay to use now.
That's where we were supposed to be. From the middle of Ohio over, we're supposed to be west, we're supposed to be central, and we were originally.
I don't think it does affect my life.
Well, some say who cares, but it would impact a majority of our state. Why lawmakers are looking to push Indiana back into Central Time. Elena.
Here's a look at I-465 at Rockville Road. This is over on the west side. You can see the roads are wet this morning, so be sure to use that extra caution as you are making your way to work today. Time now, 5:11. You're watching RTV6.
Representative!
Unlike the convenience of automated customer service, flexible financing options at Aspen Dental are actually very convenient.
Schedule now at 1-800-ASPEN-DENTAL.
Look at you, Tyson Anytizers and Crispy Strips. You help fuel greatness. You'll just have to make the ultimate game day sacrifice and be eaten.
Tax reform is sweeping across Indiana. Small businesses are growing. Paychecks are going up. Families are saving more for what matters. Hoosier Pride is back. Senator Joe Donnelly said he'd support tax cuts for hard-working Hoosiers. But when he had the chance, he said no, voting against tax cuts for you, standing with Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi instead of us. Tell Senator Donnelly to put Hoosier jobs first.
Now at Menards, save big money on your next project with 11% off everything. Get 11% off on all Delta bath fans. This quiet bath fan with light covers rooms up to 100 square feet, $151.29 after 11% off. The Donnelly tall elongated toilet from Mansfield is $203.81 after 11% off. Or get the Vanquish toilet with side-mounted seat for $221.61 after 11% off. Stop waiting and start saving with 11% off everything. Now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
There's never been a better time to donate to Goodwill.
Hi guys, so this is the all-new Chevy Equinox.
It's gorgeous.
It offers rear seat reminder, built-in 4G LTE Wi-Fi, Apple CarPlay compatibility, and teen driver technology.
It's crazy.
Now to get all of these features, you'd need all 6 of those crossovers.
That's insane.
Yep, and you still wouldn't get everything that's in this Equinox.
Wow. 6 cars in one.
Yeah.
Current qualified GM lessees can get this all-new 2018 Chevy Equinox for around $199 a month. Visit ChooseYourChevy.com.
Unlike being stuck with a bad haircut,
You look amazing.
Aspen Dental makes sure you're satisfied with a denture money-back guarantee.
Thanks.
No thanks.
Schedule now at 1-800-ASPEN-DENTAL.
I do
do this job because I love it. Put your game face on.
Station 19, coming Thursday, March 22nd to TGIT.
You're watching RTV6, working for you.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. Time now is 5:14. Here's a look at I-70 at Sam Jones Expressway over on the west side. Look at those wet roads. You're going to want to use some extra caution this morning when you are making your way to work.
Elena, thank you. Well, the death of a Ben Davis High School student back in 2015 is leading to some life-saving measures today. It's now up to Governor Holcomb to sign what's known as Savannah's Law. The Wayne Township Fire Department stopped by RTV6 to show how this law would work. It would allow you to voluntarily request free emissions tests of your car at a local fire department. Now, this test would only take about 10 minutes, and they use this small monitor to check for levels of carbon monoxide. This law is named for Savannah Bettis, who was killed in a car crash caused by carbon monoxide circulating into the cabin.
Immediately when we noticed that, hey, this is a problem and we got to get out and do what we can to address the issue, and along with the Bettis family, we started working on a plan to attack this. And so we've been doing this now for well over a year, where we've been testing vehicles that have come in and visited with us. We're starting to see other agencies now pick it up and start to do the very same thing. So we're very excited about that.
Now, once the governor signs the bill, all fire departments are expected to offer this testing service. It is 5:16. The debate continues this morning about if Indiana should be in the central time zone. Lawmakers are laying out the groundwork for a study of whether all 92 counties should be on the same time. The sponsor tells us it's because of the amount of darkness when children are headed to school, and that it is hard to do business with the West Coast. Now, here's a look at how Indiana's time zones are divided up. 80 of Indiana's counties right now are on Eastern time. A dozen others are on Central time. Well, the flu mist is coming back. A CDC panel says that it's confident the mist will work next year. 2 years ago, the group pulled its recommendation for using nasal spray after researchers found that it wasn't working against that worst strain of the flu. It was once considered the best vaccine for kids. Now, this flu season, more than 80 kids have died from the flu so far. We've got a recall alert for you this morning, and this is a warning that could keep you from getting burned. The handle on these KitchenAid electric kettles may come off, causing all the hot liquid inside to come pouring out. Now, more than 40,000 were sold across the country in stores like Target and on Amazon. If you have one, you can call Whirlpool. It is 5:17 here on our Thursday morning. I want to check in with Kyle Mounts because overnight we thought we might have some winter weather to our north, but those advisories have gone away.
Yeah, all the advisories have been canceled as far as any winter weather advisories. Fortunately, temperatures have stayed above that freezing mark. So even if we see in northern areas some of those snowflakes mix in, roads should be in good shape. Right now in downtown, we're at 38 degrees, but it feels like we're in the upper 20s. So you are going to need that heavier coat this morning along with the umbrella, as we've got a breezy east-northeast wind at 15 miles per hour this morning. Here's Storm Team 6 radar, and we are dry for you around Sullivan, working your way through Greencastle up toward Crawfordsville, and even around Kokomo. You're starting to dry out this morning. May still have a few more showers work back into the area, though, before the morning's over. Where we still have that steady rain from around downtown, especially on the east side, and you can see south of Interstate 70 pretty much filled in here from Bloomington through Columbus into Greensburg, and some of that moderate rain this morning around Connorsville into Richmond. So that's where the wet weather could slow you down just a little bit more. And there you see that back edge of the rain now east of Kokomo, but still dealing with it around Marion, Hartford City, Muncie, right on into around Winchester. So that wave of rain will move out. May have a few more light scattered showers here as the morning goes on. And again, the far northern areas, so Logansport, Peru, Delphi, may mix in just a couple of snowflakes around Marion, Indiana later this morning. And then there are those clouds as we go into the afternoon. Temperature-wise, not a whole lot of movement on that thermometer this morning. We'll get into the low 40s as we head toward 1 o'clock this afternoon, still with those mostly cloudy skies, but at least we're getting several dry hours here with temperatures later today that'll make it into the middle and some areas upper 40s to around 50 degrees for you in Bloomington and Columbus, 46 in Muncie, and 47 this afternoon in Richmond. Tonight, temperature's not going to be quite as cold as we'll hold in the lower 40s, but look at that. The rain is going to come right back with us. Here's TrueCast as we go just past midnight tonight. You can see that rain mainly along and south of I-70 once again. Where we don't need it, we really don't need it across any parts of central Indiana. But as we go into tomorrow morning, once again, some showers to greet you as you're heading out the door and the kids to the bus stop on Friday morning. Should be fairly light stuff here for us. And then there are those cloudy skies into the afternoon. But additional rainfall between now and Saturday, about an inch for northern areas, but up to about 2 inches to 3 inches of rainfall certainly possible south of Indianapolis, around Columbus into Bedford. 7-day planning forecast for you here, and temperatures are going to stay mild. After today, we're looking at highs that'll be in the 50s, and we've got that chance for even a few thunderstorms on Saturday. So we'll watch that for you. There's that dry stretch of weather coming our way. Second half of the weekend makes Sunday the pick of the weekend, and we'll keep it dry into the start of next week.
Loving the look of those 50s. Thank you, Kyle. Here is a look at I-465 at Washington Street over on the west side. The great news for your morning commute is all is moving up to speed. The bad news is those roads are wet, so you might want to give yourself some extra time this morning. So let's take a look at the map. There is a crash that just came up, and this is on the west side. That's at Harding Street at West Washington Street. So if this is part of your commute, just pay attention to that. In terms of traffic flow, everything is moving up to speed. So if you are headed out to work right now, there shouldn't be any delays in your commute. But let's take a look at those roads one more time. Here's a look at I-465 at Washington Street over on the east side. And again, those roads are wet, so as you are making your way to work, pay attention because those potholes are full of water. You might not see them. They could catch you off guard, so just use that extra caution as you're making your way to work this morning.
Elena, thanks. Well, the vice president wants to ease government restrictions so that private companies like SpaceX can travel farther into the cosmos. Now, he's leading a new space advisory council to make sure that this happens. The council, who met yesterday at Cape Canaveral, seems eager to streamline regulations and make commercial trips to space a little easier. And in just a few hours, SpaceX will launch a couple of prototype satellites it hopes will one day help to cover the Earth with high-speed internet. The private space company just launched its Falcon Heavy, the most powerful rocket in the world, which you're seeing on your screen right now. You can see the launch just after 9 o'clock this morning. It's 5:21. Mark Hamill is finally getting a much-deserved star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Luke Skywalker himself will be joined by his Star Wars co-star Harrison Ford and Star Wars creator George Lucas at the ceremony. Now, that's happening 2 weeks from today. He'll also be presenting at the Oscars next Sunday. That's right here on RTV6, along with Lin-Manuel Miranda, Viola Davis, and Jennifer Garner. Now, McDonald's bringing back one of its favorite treats, so grab a spoon or a straw because you're in luck. We're serving up that story coming up right after the break. Stay with us.
Your Storm Team 6 forecast is sponsored by Menards.
Great days start live.
Weekdays at 9 on RTV6.
The legendary Checkers and Rally's Big Buford now comes in 3 sizes. Big, bigger, and beast. With all the fixings. The single, double, or triple Buford. So how hungry are you? Checkers and Rallies. Fast foodies know the deal.
At 674-7401. Terry Lee Genesis, just 10 minutes north of 465 on Highway 37 in Noblesville.
My best memory of Sybaris was walking in the door for the first time. My mouth dropped. I seriously was so excited. I ran right into the pool. It was relaxing and soothing and how it was supposed to be.
If you wanted to get the same kind of atmosphere, you'd literally have to get on an airplane, fly halfway across the country, and spend thousands of dollars in Vegas to get the same thing that you can get in the Midwest with only a short drive.
Discover special offers at Sybaris.com.
Where's my cooler? My sandwich is in there. Oh, boy. Nice try, pal.
That feeling, only better. Confidence thanks to a reinforced safety cage. Standard in the 5-star overall safety-rated Volkswagen Jetta.
Hurry in this President's Day and you can get 0.9% APR for 60 months on new 2018 Volkswagen Jetta models.
It's funny how the biggest ideas often make our impact
Looking closer at soil has helped us grow our thinking. And by creating digital tools that make resource use more precise, we use less. Like many industries, agriculture uses data to evolve, but you might not see our greatest innovations because they help keep what the earth has given us right where it belongs. We give back by moving forward.
Look who's coming to Noblesville.
And Indy's North Side. Ed Martin Toyota will soon be moving to our new location, but we're not taking our current inventory with us. No, we're going to sell them now for less rather than pay to move them later. Now's your chance to drive home happy with additional moving savings. Huge Sell Them Now savings on over 750 cars, trucks, and SUVs at Ed Martin Toyota in the Anderson Auto Mall. Online at edmartin.com.
At Checkers and Rallies, get a win before the game even starts. Because now you can get your choice of sandwich and small fry for just $2. Beats overpriced stadium food, the $2 meal deal. Checkers and Rallies. Fast foodies know the deal.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. Time now, 5:25. Here's a look at I-465 at West 10th Street. The good news, all is moving up to speed. The bad news, the roads are wet, so use that extra caution and leave earlier than you typically would.
Elena, thanks. Well, if you're a fan of seasonal drinks, especially McDonald's St. Patrick's Day drink, we have some good news for you. The Shamrock Shake is back. It's as rare as a four-leaf clover, and because of that, McDonald's is introducing the official Shamrock Shake Finder app to help you track one down. Between now and March, McDonald's will be seeing a lot of green, and I'm not just talking about the shake. This brings in a lot of money as well. Sounds pretty good, Kyle.
I've never had one.
I haven't either.
We may have to
We'll
try
have to get
it
the
out.
Finder app.
That's right, we will. All right, well, you need the Storm Shield app this morning. We got some rain out there. Good news is it's rain, but if you are going to be doing some traveling across the country where they've got some wintry weather back in portions of Missouri and also into Iowa this morning, and actually yesterday had quite a bit of ice fall in Oklahoma City. Here's a check of that regional travel forecast. Morning mix in St. Louis, then some rain early in the day in Cincinnati, but as you're heading out the door here, we've got some of that rain around as well. Temperatures are going to hold pretty steady there in the 30s. We'll top out in the mid-40s and drying out a little bit this afternoon.
Kyle, thanks. Into the morning, more than a dozen cars stranded on the side of I-70 after hitting massive potholes. We're showing you where, and our Nicole Griffin is showing you what to do after your tires pop.
And we are live this morning here at Firestone in Fishers, talking with experts about what you should do if you hit a pothole. That's coming up here in just minutes on Good Morning Indiana.
And here's a look at I-465 at Allisonville Road. Up on the northeast side, you can see those roads are wet, so it might be a slick commute. Give yourself that extra time and pay attention. Time now, 5:27. You're watching RTV6.